Hey y'all, I'm Brandy Tebow, and this is Permission for Peace. They're short little episodes in which I share from my own experience, tips on getting freedom from body anxiety in order to start doing the things that we love. And today I want to talk about the very important difference between dieting and making healthy choices. This episode was inspired by my standing in line at checkout the other day and noticing a women's health magazine with the titles, Your Best Abs Ever, Hot Bod, No Gym, No Trainer, Eat Carbs, Slim Down. And I'm like, wait, I thought this was a health magazine. Why is it literally all about dieting? And then I realized that it's really common to talk about dieting and being healthy like they're the same thing. For a long time, I thought that I had to actively restrict myself in order to be healthy. And when I started recovering from my eating disorder, it was really hard for me to tell whether I was cutting out certain foods for health's sake or because I wanted to conceal my dieting under a pretense of health. It wasn't until I read this book by Abigail Sagway called What's Wrong with Fat that I discovered that there's actually nothing inherently unhealthy about having body fat. It's like this huge, giant misunderstanding, conspiracy, that fat causes disease. But the belief that fat cells are disease cells does way more for the economy, because people who are dissatisfied with their bodies buy stuff, than it does for human health. I was so surprised to find out that dieting actually causes disease. It causes tension, irritability, food anxiety, loss of libido and lethargy. It causes obsessive thinking. It slows down our metabolism. It causes chronic stress. It decreases our immune responses. Turns out there are actually way more health risks to being underweight than being overweight. So now it makes sense that every single year that I was heavily dieting, I ended up in the hospital with an internal infection. But I thought nothing of the correlation at the time. The truth is, the diet industry makes boatloads of money off of making people think that dieting leads to health. A perfect example is that when I was researching this episode, I searched health risks of a low-calorie diet, and the first link that I clicked on had this huge ad for a weight loss pill covering up the underlying article about how dieting puts you at a higher risk for heart disease and cancer. So I realized how important it is that we start clearly distinguishing dieting from making healthy choices. And to do that, let's think about the words diet and health for a second. The word diet literally has die embedded right in it. To diet means to kill off. Think divorce, dissect, divide. To diet is to divide oneself and conquer the parts that we don't like. We say things like burn, cut, kill, or slice off fat, like we have to violently punish ourselves for having flesh on our bodies. However, the root of the word health means to be whole. Think heal. It's about bringing together and mending. So dieting is about killing off parts of ourselves, while health is about being at one with ourselves. When I realized that I didn't need to pay attention to the latest diet advice, and instead I could focus on teaching myself about how to wisely nourish my body for optimum health, my entire life shifted. I started feeding myself in order to feel good from the inside rather than look good from the outside. I started caring more about having a long life and tons of energy than about dropping pounds. I realized that a commitment to health entails being proactive and creative to design a lifestyle in which my body is honored and nourished, whereas dieting was about reacting to the parts of my body that I didn't like and destroying them. A commitment to health is about allowing my body to need what it needs and listening and tuning into those needs. Dieting was about silencing and numbing my body to deprive it of what it needs. A commitment to health is about working with and for my body, whereas dieting is about working against my body. A commitment to health is about nurturing my body so that it feels good, so that I have energy, so that I have a long life, so that I'm at my optimum performance, peace, and productivity. A commitment to health comes from being inspired by the joy that health can bring, whereas dieting comes from being ashamed. When I stopped constantly dieting, I had to retrain myself to know how to eat. I remember asking my nutritionist how to know when I should stop eating. And she said that I should eat enough so that I'm nourished, sustained, and clear-headed until my next meal. And if I find that I'm hungry 2 hours later, I should just eat more next time. Simple trial and error. I couldn't believe how simple it was. Now, rather than trying to eat as little as possible or trick my body into feeling full, I eat to nourish my body so that I don't have to worry about it. Now that I've stopped trying to destroy parts of myself that I was ashamed of, I'm freed up to focus on what I love. Imagine how much human potential would be freed up if we all gave up on dieting and instead focused on eating wisely to nourish our minds and bodies. So in conclusion, I firmly believe that nobody needs to diet, but that everybody could benefit from an authentic commitment to their health. So I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me, when are you unsure about whether you're dieting or making healthy choices? And how could getting clear about the difference give you some freedom and peace of mind?